2015 once again is shaping up to be another year full of change and really another interesting year in terms of what will occur through various industries, sectors and I suppose companies both here domestically in Australia but also overseas. And really now's the time for investors to be on the front foot and to be riding with those trends. You need to keep your finger on the pulse in terms of what's changing within the industry and within companies. And I suppose two really good examples are car sales and REA Group. And I suppose if you look at what those two companies have done in terms of the classified market and that whole space in general, they really have changed the ballgame. We look at volatility a lot of the times as opportunity, whereas a lot of people panic and they often make the wrong decisions. And this is where having a process in terms of what you're buying, when and for how much is really important when investing. The tip for investors really is to understand what you're investing in within this component of your portfolio and really to look at the returns and the risk characteristics of those investments. And quite often is the case with a lot of things. If the returns are too good to be true, often they are. The most important part of this for investors is to really realise how does this apply to their own portfolio and to their own investments. And really that's looking at how do the events around the world impact what you're investing in and where your money is placed. It's not about where the company is listed, it's more so about where the revenues are actually being generated from and in what markets. And that's really what we're trying to identify. We really try and identify and look for a company that can increase shareholder value time and time again through different market cycles. A really good example of this is the Commonwealth Bank of Australia, who has delivered a really strong return for shareholders through some very tough market cycles and through some very good market cycles. It's one thing to identify the company that you want to purchase. I suppose the next step in that is really identifying what price that you're happy to pay for that company. Really, this comes down to the earnings and the sustainability of those earnings and what the growth is forecast to be for that company. For us, in terms of investing, we're really trying to identify what that global mix of the different energy sources is going to look like in years to come. In terms of domestic players in that space, Woodside Petroleum and BHP are two really good examples of high quality companies which are really participating in this space. There's really a large taxation revenue base that's sort of tied up with superannuation here in Australia. It is extremely important that people realise this and they know that there's probably going to be further legislative changes in this area. Despite all the recent changes to superannuation as a structure is probably still the best wealth accumulation structure for most Australians out there. And no matter whether you're in your 20s or in your 60s, it's very important to get the right advice and have the right investments within your superannuation.